Call of Duty is in a pretty weird state right now because while Black Ops 6 has a very strong launch, a lot of people are moving away from it and playing other games or waiting for the next COD to come out for another refresh. Judging by insider reports, it's believed that Call of Duty 2025 is going to be a Black Ops spin-off set shortly after Black Ops 2. And it's going to be developed by Sledgehammer Games and feature remakes of all of the Black Ops 2 multiplayer maps. And thanks to our longtime friend of the channel, Elias, we have a list today of 10 weapons that could potentially end up in COD 2025, some of which will be familiar and some may be a bit unexpected. So let me know what guns you want to see in Black Ops 2025. What do they call this game? They can't call it Black Ops 3. They can't call it Black Ops 2.5. What do they call it? Drop a like on this video. And at number 10 is the Peacekeeper. Did you know the Peacekeeper was the first DLC gun in COD history? Not only that, but it also was the first completely fictional gun in Call of Duty history as well, at least in the multiplayer experiences. Up until this point in COD history, everything had it'd been at least based on a real gun. The Peacekeeper is meant to be this hybrid assault rifle and an SMG, features the fast handling, lightweight you'd expect from the latter, paired with the accuracy and the range you'd expect from the former. The Peacekeeper was a huge hit with the Black Ops 2 fans. It was remade in both Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4 as DLC. So if we are returning to the near future set for Black Ops 2 and a Black Ops 2 sequel, I think it would be a nice piece of continuity to have the Peacekeeper with us. Plus, since it's a totally fictional weapon, it's not like Sledgehammer would have to figure out some kind of new game or weapon model to avoid licensing fees. This is a great gun to bring back in COD 2025. It's a perfect way to start this list. At number 9, the DSR-50. Now, this gun fell victim to one of the most infamous nerfs in Call of Duty history. When you look back at what the patch actually did to the DSR, it really doesn't sound like a lot, but if you were playing Black Ops 2 during that time period, you absolutely felt the consequences in multiplayer. The DSR was one of the most popular guns in the game, and once that patch came through, the Ballista rose to the top of the sniper tier list. But this is a sniper that absolutely deserves to come back in one way or another. Sure, it wasn't the best sniper in the game after the nerfs, but it was still one of the most satisfying sniper rifles in COD history because of the firing sound, the generous one-shot kill range, and just the smoothness. It wasn't a great sniper for playing aggressive or quick-scoping, but if you were looking for a traditional sniper rifle to hunker down with and keep objectives clear from a distance after the nerf, it was the gun. I liked it both before and after the infamous nerf. I would love to see it come back if we truly are returning to the Black Ops 2 time period. And another question I have is, if we're returning in a sequel to Black Ops 2, are we going to get advanced movement? It's in the future. Maybe some Black Ops 3 movement paired with this? I don't know. Before we move on, guys, if you get anything from G2A, consider using Code Chaos for your purchase. Whether you're getting gift cards, Steam codes, PC games, whatever it may be, the link is in the description. At number 8, the KSG. Now, it's appeared a couple times in Call of Duty history, and it's been pretty different in function. The original COD KSG was in the original Modern Warfare 3. It was your traditional pump-action shotgun, but when it was brought back in Black Ops 2, Treyarch made it a slug shotgun instead, made it one of the most intimidating weapons in the game to go up against because it was really hard to use. But on the other side, it was insanely powerful. In fact, if we were just talking about raw one-shot kill potential, the Black Ops 2 version of this KSG may have been the best shotgun in COD history because it would get an insta-kill from over 30 meters away as long as you hit him in the head. Shotguns have been pretty annoying over the last few years of COD, but I think it's about time they brought back the classic KSG, a high-skill slug shotgun that basically functions like a marksman rifle and only allows you to see success if you prove you're worthy. It's kind of like Mjolnir. It's like Thor's hammer. And could you imagine if Sledgehammer put incendiary shells on it? I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't speak that into existence. I'm sorry. The Death Chat Rage videos on Warzone would be legendary. At number 7 today, the AN-94. It's quickly become one of the most recognizable guns in FPS history because of how many games are using it. But the Call of Duty AN's legacy started with Black Ops 2, and that version is still widely seen as the best in the series. It was one of the last things you unlocked in Black Ops 2's multiplayer. It was worth the grind. It was a laser beam, had an awesome firing sound. The damage was incredible. The 2-round hyper burst made it super unique compared to other rifles in COD history at that time. A gun that wasn't just memorable in design, but also super fun to use and extremely rewarding. Later versions of it didn't hit the same as the original BO2 version, and I think Sledgehammer would be very wise to bring it back in COD 2025, especially if they make it as close to Black Ops 2's version as possible. Granted, that might make it overpowered, but whatever. At number 6, speaking of overpowered, the KAP-40. The first gun to ever be banned in competitive play. Fully automatic pistol in Black Ops 2 had the damage stats that rivaled the full-size SMGs. It fired fast, pretty respectable damage, super fast reload animation, and it had all the super fast handling traits of a pistol. The only downside of the cap was a relatively small default magazine, but you could fix that with extended mags. I feel like Call of Duty has been slacking in the pistol category the last few years. They haven't had really that many memorable pistols in the Warzone era, which is a pretty stark change from the Golden Age, where basically every Call of Duty game had at least one or two fan favorite pistols. At this point, I would be totally fine if we just started getting remakes of classic fan favorite pistols. And if we're going to go to Black Ops 2's time period, revamp the Cap 40 for a new generation. The last time we saw this pistol was the remake in Black Ops 4, and even that version was noticeably nerfed from Black Ops 2. Still fun to have in your back pocket. If it ends up being too good, they can just ban it from competitive play again. Now we arrive at the top 5. The MX Garand. Raise your hand if you remember the MX Garand from Black Ops 3. Supposed to be a futuristic version of the iconic real-world M1 Garand, and since Sledgehammer had the M1 Garand in several of their games at this point, I think it's not only a great choice to bring back for COD 2025, but also possibly a nice piece of world building because it could connect COD 2025 to Black Ops 3 in terms of continuity, and it would deepen the connection between all the different COD franchises. Another possibility is that Sledgehammer actually adapts the real-world version of the futuristic M1 Garand, which is the M1 Garand Sage EBR, which was released not too long ago. So whether Sledgehammer wants to add some continuity to the franchise by bringing back the MX Garand, or if they want to adapt a real-world modernized M1 Garand, I think the fan base would be on board with it either way. Personally, I think the MX Garand route would be cooler, but that's just me. I'm a sucker for throwbacks and references to older COD games, you know that, and I have a ton of nostalgia for Black Ops 3, so I would vote the MX Garand. At number 4, the Ballista. This thing was amazing. Featured some of the smoothest handling out of any Call of Duty sniper ever. The ADS animation, the sleek, the firing sound, it was awesome. The damage was super well balanced, awarded you for one-shot kills as long as you aimed high and hit the target above the belly button. It was a true example of a high-skill, high-reward weapon because you were only going to be able to get the most out of it if you put the work in to aim high and stay consistent with that fire rate. As much as Call of Duty has changed over the years, there will always be a super passionate sniping scene, and bringing the Ballista back to use on classic Black Ops 2 maps like Standoff, Raid, and Hijacked? Come on. If people start hitting new trick shots with this thing off the plane in the middle of Turbine, just like the good old days, I'll be a happy man. At number 3, the JVPC, aka the MSMC. This Indian SMG was designed in 2005, made its debut as the Modern Submachine Gun Carbine, or the MSMC for short. In 2014, the name was changed to the Joint Venture Protective Carbine, or the JVPC, so Sledgehammer might end up updating the name if they decide to bring back the gun, but I just think, everything I think about Black Ops 2, everybody would want this back. It was called the best SMG in Call of Duty history by a ton of professional players because of the versatility, the responsiveness, the extremely high skill ceiling that made it easy for anyone to use, but really hard to get good with. The MSMC or JVPC, whatever, is an obvious pick for a COD 2025 weapon. With all the nostalgia that is running through our veins while playing on classic Black Ops 2 maps, Sledgehammer would be crazy not to bring back the MSMC or other name as well. At number 2, the XM8, also known as the M8A1. In the real world, the XM8 was designed by H&K back in the early 2000s, but it didn't actually enter service until 2010. It served as the inspiration for Treyarch's iconic M8A1 4-round burst assault rifle in Black Ops 2 that went on to be one of the most iconic weapons in the entire franchise, and I absolutely think it's coming back in this year's COD. There's no way Sledgehammer puts together an entire game dedicated to recreating the best parts of Black Ops 2, but they don't remake the M8A1. I'm serious. It was one of the most beloved guns in the game back in the day and became the blueprint for all 4-round burst COD guns in the future. And with how much Call of Duty loves ringing our nostalgia bells, I think Sledge is going to jump on the opportunity to bring this gun in a modern game, hopefully with the original Black Ops 2 firing sound. And at number 1 today, a weapon that should show up in COD 2025, the HK416, also known as the M27, also known as the ICR-1. The HK makes a ton of sense for COD 2025 for several reasons. Hear me out. For those that don't know, the real-world HK416 was the inspiration for Black Ops 2's M27 rifle, and it's even called the HK416 in the game files. Fan favorite AR ended up becoming one of the most iconic guns in COD history. The HK was also the inspiration for the ICR-1 in Black Ops 3, which was also a fan favorite gun, so if we're getting a game set in between 2 and 3, It would make total sense to bring this gun back again and make it some kind of connecting point between the two. The Black Ops series is all about legacy, and if both BO2 and BO3 already have a fictional version of the HK, why not bring it back again so we get some added continuity between these new Black Ops experiences and the classic ones? The real question is, would the gun be called the M27, or would it be called the ICR, or would it be some kind of new third gun that's the generation in between? I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments what kind of M27 lore you want to see in COD 2025, and let me know one gun that we didn't mention that you would like to see in Black Ops 2.5. Big shout out to Elias again for the video.